নমস্কার বন্ধুরা, লেটস লার্ন ইংলিশ উইথ অভি চ্যানেলে আপনাদের স্বাগত। জয়, এ জেন্টল সোল with a heart full of melody, once resided in the bustling heart of Chennai. His flute, a faithful companion, poured forth enchanting tunes that captivated all who listened. His love for music was so intense that he lost track of time, composing numerous lovely pieces. As usual, Joy was playing music at a local cafe. The cafe was dimly lit, with flickering candles on each table. The soft hum of conversation filled the air, punctuated by the clinking of glasses. Joy's flute's sleek, cool surface offered comforting sensation throughout the cafe. Then he noticed a girl enjoying his music. Her eyes closed and a pretty smile on her face. Her reaction piqued his curiosity, but he continued playing. The aroma of freshly brewed coffee wafted through the room. At the end of his performance, he saw the same girl approaching him. She was in red salwar. Her untied hair, pretty black eyes, and charming smile attracted his attention. She came and extended her hand to introduce herself. "Hi, I am Trisha," she said. "I listened to your music back there. It was incredible. So soothing and pleasant. It feels like you are telling a story through your lovely tunes." Joy smiled back and shook her hand. "Oh, thank you very much, Trisha. I'm really glad you liked my music. By the way, I'm Joy. Music is my passion, and through it, I express my heart to the world." After that meeting, Trisha visited the cafe quite frequently until she became a regular listener. They started chatting for hours about their dreams, music, and life. Their common interests brought them even closer, and they both enjoyed each other's company. Trisha, by profession, was a poet, and she also expressed her emotions through her poem. She noticed that whenever she shared her poems with him, he created melodies based on them. In the deepest core of her heart, she felt the warmth of love for him. Months turned into years, and their friendship bloomed even wider. They felt more relaxed and calm whenever they spent time together. Gradually, they began exploring the city, attending concerts, and visiting theaters. One day, while Trisha was reciting one of her lovely poems, Joy joined her by playing a melodious tune on the flute. Trisha was surprised, but continued reciting with a smile. Her heart pounded heavily as she felt she had landed in heaven. They created a beautiful blend of music and poetry. Days went by, and one moonlit evening, they were far from the city's outcry, walking slowly on the sand of a beach. The moon cast its silvery glow on the tranquil beach as they strolled along the shore. The rhythmic lapping of waves and the cool sea breeze soothed their souls. Suddenly, Joy halted, his breath catching in his throat. Trisha, alarmed by the sudden distress, questioned, "What's wrong?" His eyes, usually calm and steady, now burnt with an intensity she had never seen before. "Are you all right, Joy?" she asked, her voice laced with worry. He turned to her, his grip tightening on her hands. "Trisha," he began, his voice barely a whisper, "there is something I have been longing to tell you for a very long time. Showers of strange feelings overflowed her. She felt her heart pounding so heavily it seemed as if a rabbit wanted to jump out of her chest. Gathering all her courage and with bated breath, she asked, "What? What is it?" With a heavy breath, Joy finally confessed with a flattering voice, "Trisha, I have fallen in love with you." Joy's eyes glittered like the shining moon high above in the sky. Trisha couldn't believe her ears. She had wanted to hear these words for months, and now it was finally a reality. She was in a state of joy unspeakable. The gentle breeze of the beach and the tender touch of the evening moonlight carried her away to ecstasy. The scenic beauty of Mother Nature seemed so incredible, as if heaven itself had landed on this little beach. The roar of waves brought her back to reality. She held his hand tightly. She looked into his eyes eagerly. Her throat was choked with countless words she had kept secret for all these years. She couldn't speak. She let go of his hands and embraced him tightly. Her embrace uncovered the library of unspoken words buried deep inside her heart. Joy also embraced her. Time froze for a moment, then melted as she said, "I love you too," with tears of joy. She continued, "I have been waiting for this day for so long, and now it's finally a reality." They looked at each other with smiles and a bit of shyness. Months passed, and during this time, they created many wonderful pieces of music and poems together. Their love was reflected in their works. Their love grew stronger with each passing day. One day, Joy gifted her something that surprised her greatly. She composed a wonderful melody that depicted their bond of love. He titled it "The Melody of Love." He played the music, and Trisha was overwhelmed to hear it. It was a great piece of work, full of joy and emotion. It reflected their lovely bond through melody. "Joy, this is the most beautiful thing I have ever heard," she said. Tears streamed from her eyes. "Thank you for sharing this with me." Joy smiled, placed his palms on her cheeks, and said, "My dear Trisha, you are my love, my life. You are everything to me. It was not I who composed it. It is our love overflowing within our hearts. I have just captured it on paper. It reflects our love." They smiled, and she rested her head on his chest. Just then, Trisha surprised Joy even more with her words. "But there is one thing I want to give you in return," she said. Joy smiled and asked curiously, "What is it?" Then Trisha handed him a piece of paper on which she had written beautiful poem about their love and their entire journey over the years. Joy read it and became emotional. Then he embraced her lovingly and said, "Trisha, I want to share our works with the world. Your poetry and my music would be a perfect blend, just like us." Trisha smiled and nodded with a bit of shyness. Together, they performed the melody of love at a grand concert hall with hundreds of people in attendance. The audience was moved to tears by the beauty of their performance. Joy's flute and Trisha's poem recitation created a magical experience that touched everyone's heart. Their love story grew famous in Chennai, inspiring many others to follow their dreams and believe in the power of love. Joy and Trisha continued to create music and stories together, their bond growing stronger with each passing day. Years later, as they sat by the sea beach where Joy had first confessed his love, they reflected on their journey. They had faced challenges and obstacles, but their love had always been their guiding light. Trisha, our love story is like a beautiful melody, Joy said, holding her hand. It has its highs and lows, but together we create something truly magical. Trisha smiled and leaned her head on his shoulder. Yes, Joy, our love is the greatest story ever told, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for us. And so, Joy and Trisha lived happily ever after, their love story continuing to inspire and touch the hearts of everyone who heard it.